here before the next newscast starts. So first of all, good evening, everyone. I got to say good evening because I'm so used to working the morning show, and I am just, getting into the pattern of saying evenings for the next few days because I'm filling in for Marshall in the evenings. Let's make sure it sounds good here.
Talk about getting into the
not too overmodulated. That's good. All right, so let me share this over to my Facebook page as well. Come join me. We'll share that over on my Facebook page. Andrew Buck Michael shared, posted, done. All right, let's dive into it here. So obviously the snow's on the way. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people have a lot of questions, and that is what we're here to do this evening, to try to answer some of your questions. Obviously the big one is how much for your particular location. I'm going to show you a map of Central Ohio. We're going to show you where this storm is right now and kind of time it all out so that way you can be prepared. Not scared. There's a lot of people kind of freaking out about this. And this is going to be potentially, this is going to be a record-breaking snow for us because the most snow that we've ever had on that date was a lot less. Matter of fact, what would it be? It would be 23rd, 4th, 5th. So for the 25th of January, the record is 4.7 inches of snow. And we will very likely pick that up as we get into next week, or Sunday specifically. So let me go ahead and fire up the graphics here, and we're going to take you over to the computer, and we're going to kind of start showing you some stuff. We'll get into this here coming up. This is a graphic that I have made specifically for this to talk about how much snow was going to fall hour by hour through the evenings. But again, we're under a winter storm warning for the snow that's on the way. But there's some things we need to talk about before the snow even gets here. By the way, you can throw the comments up on Facebook, and I'll be able to see those on the Facebook live stream. I'm going to try pulling in the YouTube comments as well because I know we're live over on YouTube, or should be here shortly, if not already. Yeah, we are live. So I'm going to try to see if I can pull in some of the YouTube comments as well, because once it gets done playing the ad, I'll be able to see hopefully the comments. So again, if there's any comments here on the live stream, I'll try to answer those as well. I don't see any comments right now, but hopefully they pop in. So I'll check back on that. Anyways, winter storm warning for the snow. Let's bring it back to right now. It is so cold outside. Take a look at some of these temperatures that we've got across the area. 7 in Columbus. It is 1 below 0 up in Mansfield right now. Now, you may be familiar with that area. Maybe you've been up there and skiing before up at Snow Trails. Let's take a quick look at Snow Trails. It is 1 below 0 in Mansfield, but that is not stopping some of the skiers. There's somebody coming down the slope right now. 1 below 0. These people are dressed warm. There's a snowboarder coming in on the right-hand side. So anyways, Snow Trails, Mad River Mountain is probably super excited for this snow that is on the way. But it's very cold outside this morning, this evening. See, I knew I was going to say this evening. Anyway, let's talk about that because first of all, tonight we have a cold weather advisory. Before we even get into the snow that's on the way, cold weather advisory is in effect for pretty much the entire state here until midday tomorrow. Our wind chills are going to be between 0 and 10 below 0 as you're heading out the door tonight and tomorrow morning. Matter of fact, here's a quick timeline of the next 18 hours for you. Temperatures bottoming out around 1 or 2 here in Columbus. Out some of the outlying areas, as we just showed you there in Mansfield, already below 0. Wind chills will be down about 10 below 0. Of course, that's just tonight. We get the snow that's on the way. So let's talk about our wind chills right now, and then we'll get into where that snow is, where it's headed. So you can see the wind chills right now, 11 below 0 in Mount Vernon. So that snow is on the way for us. It's just not here yet. So let's get into that. The snow has been picking up some intensity down in Texas and Oklahoma, and you can see that we have the winter storm warning in effect. But let's get to the radar. Here's where the storm is right now. Starting to get a little bit of traction there in Kansas, Oklahoma, and also down in Texas. That is heading in our direction. So let's time that out for you here real quick. As we go through the overnight hours here, and I kind of grouped mix all together. That's sleet and freezing rain. There's a difference. Sleet is those ice pellets. That's going to be closer to the snow. The freezing rain is going to be closer to the rain, farther to the south. As we go through tonight, snow gets closer, but it doesn't even start getting into Ohio till about 3:30 here tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be kind of on and off light snow during the late afternoon and really the evening tomorrow. I mean, look at 10:30. Still not much snow yet. Sit tight. It picks up overnight as we head into Sunday morning. So 3 a.m., we're starting to get it covered a little bit more. And you can see we've got some steady snow Sunday morning through the afternoon. And then it races out of here pretty quickly tomorrow evening. So because of this, we are going to make Sunday specifically an alert day. Everyone's been talking about it. If you didn't know this snow is coming, you got to be living under a rock. But again, the alert day is primarily going to be for Sunday, but we start to get some of this kicking its way in Saturday evening. We're looking at 8+ inches of snow for most of us. Travel is going to be very difficult on Sunday. As a matter of fact, this is a graphic that I cooked up, and I really like this because everyone wants to know what's the conditions going to be like. You have errands tomorrow morning? No problem at all. It will be frigid, so you got to be prepared for that. Wind chills between 5 below, 15 below. I'm going to get a sip of coffee here. I'm trying to get used to the evenings here. I got an energy drink. I've got my coffee going, trying to keep the energy up through the 10 and 11 o'clock news because I am typically fast asleep. I go to bed at 7 p.m. normally with the morning show. Anyway, frigid tomorrow morning, but roads are dry. Roads are fine tomorrow morning. Dress warm. Very cold for Saturday afternoon. We only get to a high around 14, and snow starts to arrive later in the evening tomorrow. We showed you that, and we'll zoom in Futurecast and slow it down in a second. But it's Sunday that you really don't, if you don't need to be on the roads, just plan on staying home. There's some great football games on. It'd be better if Buffalo's in. It'd be better if we had an Ohio team in there, honestly. But I was kind of pulling for Buffalo this year, considering that I'm a Browns fan. Anyway, we're going to be dealing with just snow-covered roads, heavy snow, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, and then it tapers off by Sunday evening. So let's get into the timing of it a little bit more and then dive into some of the snowfall totals on the way. So timing it out for you, taking you through the overnight hours tonight, into tomorrow, and also into Sunday. So tomorrow morning, 2 degrees at 8 a.m., wind chill is 8 below zero. And again, we'll do snowfall totals after this, I promise. As we go through tomorrow afternoon, we start getting snow showers by about 3, 4, 5 o'clock here. But it's not widespread. As a matter of fact, there's still no snow in Columbus at 5 o'clock on the latest Futurecast. A new Futurecast comes in here very shortly that I'll be sharing on tonight on Fox 28 News and also ABC 6. Still just a couple snow showers at 10 o'clock, but that snow is going to pick up in intensity overnight, Saturday night into Sunday morning. So by the time that we get to daybreak on Sunday, we've got widespread snow. It's starting to accumulate. I think you wake up Sunday morning, you might have maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow on the ground by Sunday morning, depending on what time you wake up. Nobody's going anywhere, so why rush anywhere? Churches will probably be canceled because it's going to keep falling. Hello. So the snow is going to continue Sunday morning through midday. Steady snow here at noon. It's still snowing at a good clip, even up to like 4 or 5 o'clock. But look at out in Indiana. The back edge of the snow is almost here. That's going to race through quickly Sunday evening, and then we're done with the snow. However, our focus then turns to how cold it's going to be because we are looking at temperatures. If we get some clearing, Futurecast is trying to drop us below zero Monday morning, and we don't warm up a whole lot Monday afternoon. We're looking at high temperatures in the teens as we go through next week. So, by the way, I want to back into this up real quick. I want to point out something here. I want to zoom this back to Sunday morning. Look down in southern Ohio, in Kentucky, West Virginia. That purple is sleet, those ice pellets. The freezing rain is not too far from us. We stay cold with this Arctic air, just cold enough that the ice should stay closer to the Ohio River, and it stays an all-snow event for us here in central Ohio. Because of that, I don't think power outages are going to be a huge concern, but just to our south, Kentucky, West Virginia could have some power outages. There's ice storm warnings across the deep south. So let's get back to snowfall totals. I kind of jumped ahead there, or actually went back. So most of us are in the 8 to 12 inch range. If you're watching this in central Ohio, assume you're in the 8 to 12 inch range. The exceptions would be to the northwest. Bell Fountain, we're talking Champaign, Logan, Northern Union, Hardin, Marion, Crawford County, Richland County. We're talking about some of these areas to the north. That's still 6 to 10 plus inches of snow. So no matter where you are, we're looking at about a half a foot of snow at the minimum for most of us. And then it's going to be working its way out of here pretty quickly Sunday night. So these are snowfall totals by Monday morning. So diving into some other things for you here real quick. As far as this amount of snow, this would be somewhat of a historic amount of snow because if you look at the biggest snows that we've ever had here in central Ohio, this is an idea of the maximum one-day snowfall totals. And if you notice here, the blizzard of 78 is not on here. There were some interesting things with the blizzard of 78. First of all, we had a lot of snow already beforehand. Yes, we did get a little warm right beforehand, but we already had snow on the ground filling in all of the low spots. Then we had the snow, and the other thing with the blizzard of 78, we had really strong winds. That is not the case with this particular storm. But anyways, if we get 9 inches of snow, that puts us in the top 6 for the snowiest one-day totals we've ever had here in Central Ohio. We may try to give that a run for its money. It's going to be a very light and fluffy snow, which means that it is going to accumulate very quickly, but I would still recommend shoveling in at least a couple of waves on Sunday, because if you wait and do it at the end, it doesn't matter how light and fluffy it is. 12 inches of snow is heavy and it's hard to move. So that's why I would recommend shoveling in a couple of rounds on Sunday. There's other stuff to talk about. What about the winds? Are we going to get blowing and drifting snow? I don't think it's going to be a huge issue on Sunday, but the winds pick up a little bit more Monday, Tuesday. It's kind of that 10 to 15 mile per hour range when you get a little bit of blowing and drifting snow, but it's really when it's windier than that. So I don't think that blowing and drifting snow is going to be a huge issue, especially in the city where the buildings and stuff kind of block it or kind of move the wind around. It's not the big open fields like the country. It's where I grew up out in Western Ohio. Blowing and drifting snow could be a little bit more of an issue on Monday and Tuesday, and the winds are coming from different directions. Out of the west on Monday, so that means north-southbound roads, that's where the blowing and drifting snow is going to be an issue on Monday, and then Tuesday, winds coming out of the southwest, so since it's coming in at that angle, you're looking at north-southbound roads and also east-westbound roads being an issue. So what's coming after that? What else is on the way? Here's a 7-day forecast, and I'm going to start going through the comments to read some of the questions that you guys may have. So tomorrow, a high of 14. Snow doesn't arrive until late in the evening, but we will like to start getting a little bit of snow by the late evening before midnight. Snow is going to be heavy on Sunday, 22 for the high. That's still 10 degrees below freezing, but that is the warmest day we've got out of the next 7. We are in the teens for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Overnight lows near 0, at times potentially below 0, especially if we have clear skies. That snow is falling from the upper part of the atmosphere where it is well below 0. I mean, you go up a few thousand feet and it is like 30, 40 degrees below 0. That's where the snow is falling from. So that snow is coming down to the ground, and it is going to leave us very cold, especially if you have clear skies, because any warmth just escapes right to the space and you drop. Temperatures drop fast. All right, so one final graphic here before I get to some of the comments is snowfall. When is it going to be snowing the heaviest? And this gives you an idea of when we expect that. This is based off of our Futurecast, and what it does is it takes every single hour and tries to predict how much snow is falling every hour. This really has a good clip between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. So right after daybreak is when the snow is probably falling at its heaviest. There's a few other pockets where you can see maybe in the afternoon it comes down pretty quickly. So there's going to be a few waves that we'll be keeping an eye on. But at least this gives you some sort of an idea of when that snow is going to be falling at its heaviest. And I'm pulling up the comments, or the comments, yes, right now on my Facebook page. Trying to find them here. All right, here we go. So I'm pulling it up here. So let's see. Larry's saying blowing or drifting snow is always bad in Mount Sterling. Yeah, anywhere that it's rural, there's not a lot of buildings blocking it. Donna asking, when's the last time Franklin County went to a level 3? I don't know that. There's not like a real great record keeping. This is something that kind of is, trying to find the right word, annoying, is that the sheriff's office make these declarations, level 1, level 2, level 3. And again, I'll pull that up so that way for anybody that doesn't know what that is. But they don't really communicate it. They'll put it on their Facebook page. They'll post it on their website. But some of them don't let the news organizations know. With school closures, they call us. They let us know. Sheriff's offices do not do that. It would be nice if there was a centralized database or a centralized website that every sheriff's office would use to go on there, change it, and you could see. So if I'm traveling from Columbus to Zanesville, what's it like in Franklin County? What's it like in Fairfield and Lincoln County? What's it like in Muskingum County? Unfortunately, all of the sheriffs operate completely independently, so they do not do that. I wish that they did, but we will likely have some snow emergencies. And just in case somebody's new to Central Ohio, I'm going to pull up the snow emergencies to show you what we are looking at. So that way, if you have never heard of this, you're like, what are you talking about, snow emergencies? So I'm pulling this up. So here what snow emergencies are. If it is a level 1, it means the roads are hazardous. Use caution. Level 2 means they're snow covered. Drive only if you need to. Call work. Level 3, and this could happen in Franklin County, Donna, is roads are closed, emergency only. You're subject to arrest if you're found on the roads. We are having our crews strategically placed and staying in hotels in certain spots for Sunday because we plan on where they're being a level 3, and we want to make sure that they can stay there, they can do their job, not have to be on the roads traveling. So I think that Franklin County may get to level 3. One thing is that it does not happen very often because we have a lot of government entities, and if they close the roads, emergency only, some things can't operate properly. So it does not happen very often that we get a level 3 here in Franklin County. I think if the biggest snow that we've ever had was 2008, if you remember that back in March, that's probably one of the last times that we had it. What levels do you think we'll have? From Bethany, I think that we're going to have a lot of 2s, potentially a lot of 3s. This snow doesn't wrap up till Sunday night. So the road crews will have, I would say, a good 6 to 8 hours to clean the roads before school would try to open Monday. There's a lot of roadways across Central Ohio. I don't know that we're going to have very many schools going back to school on Monday. And the other thing we haven't even talked about is how cold it's about to get after that. We talked briefly about it, but look at the wind chills for Tuesday morning, 20 below zero. So I think the kids may be off again on Tuesday. Just this last Monday, if you remember, this week we had, I think it was about 60 school districts. Most of those were closed. There were a couple that were delays, but we had almost 60 school districts closed or delayed Monday this week because it was down to we got to 16 below was one of the coldest spots we had. So we may have more school closures coming up as we get into later this week. Any chance of dry air getting in to affect it from Chad? Yeah, it's possible the way that this is set up, and I'll go back kind of to the future cast and we'll do the wider version. It's possible, but there's so much moisture that's going to be south of us. I mean, look down towards Nashville and Kentucky. There's a lot of moisture to our south, and that's where the storm is kind of moving in from. So there's a lot of moisture feeding into this, and that's why you see look at all this ice that they're going to be getting to the south. So maybe a little bit of dry air, but it's going to be such a lightly snow that I think, if anything, the snowfall totals that I've been showing you, I would not be surprised if we get a lot higher than what is in these ranges. That's why we put that 12 plus or 10 plus, because it's going to be so light and fluffy. Ronnie's saying AEP texted me saying they expect power outages. If we get power outages, it's going to be more of the snow on evergreen plants and evergreen trees because that's going to weigh those down a lot more. This is going to be a light and fluffy snow, so most of the regular trees, the maple trees, oak trees, stuff like that, deciduous, the snow is going to fall off of those. I think it's more just basically, and AEP even said that they expect probably more power outages because of accidents, people hitting telephone poles, than the snow itself. So that's kind of, we had that soundbite on our news today, which is kind of interesting. All right, Lucasville expecting snow. Yes, that's a great question. Is Lucasville expecting ice? It's going to be real close to you, Patty, and it's going to be sleet, if anything, right now is what it looks like. So it's going to be those ice pellets. Every single hour that you pick up sleet, it's going to be 1 inch less snow than what you would have had if it stayed all snow. Watching from Dayton, 8 to 12 inches here. Ronnie, no, they didn't. Let's see here. That's awesome. Great to hear. Sleet may stay below Ohio River. Yeah, we don't want the power outages, especially freezing rain. We do not want that. I don't think Franklin County was ever a level 3. If anything, it was back in that March of 2008. That's when we had 15.5 inches of snow in that single day. Would be be awesome. I said I was like, I wish this forecast would bust and it's 70 and sunny. How nice would that be? I don't want that really to happen, but any ice under the inches of snow. So if there's any ice that's already out there, there may be, but this is primarily just going to be a snow event for us. Once the snow gets packed from people driving on it, that may be a little bit of a different story. Last time Franklin County. There we go. Brian saying last time Franklin County issued level 3 was during the historic blizzard of March 7th and 8th of 2008. That was technically not a blizzard because we didn't have strong enough winds, I don't think. You have to have 35-mile-per-hour winds or stronger for 3 straight hours, and you have to have visibility under a quarter of a mile for those same 3 hours. So it really doesn't have anything to do with snow falling out of the sky. It has to be really reduced visibility, and it has to be really windy. So reduced visibility and very windy. It helps if there's snow falling, but it's not a prerequisite for it. Let's see here. Any questions? Thought this chart was 15. Said 15, but I could be wrong. And let's see here. I live in Willard. Maybe you could give me an idea. Talking about blowing snow. Yeah. I'm trying to stay awake for the evening news. So for anybody that missed the part about blowing snow, is that I think we'll start getting a little bit more drifting Monday, Tuesday as the winds pick up a little bit more. I don't think we're going to have much blowing and drifting on Sunday. It's just going to be falling so quickly. And again, keep in mind, this is going to be a very fluffy snow, so it is not going to be the best snow for making a snowman because it's going to be so light and fluffy. You need a lot of moisture, and this is going to be a pretty dry, fluffy snow. Let's see here. State, city, county, township, going to be worn out. Yeah, they're going to be worn out for sure. Keep telling my botters. Yeah, we just don't get big ones too often. Again, we have only had 2 times where it was close to a foot or more. There's only been 3 times where it's ever been, 3 times where it's ever been more than 10 inches. So it is going to be a pretty interesting system to kind of keep an eye on. Another storm possible after this, and wind from Angela. The 7-day forecast, in case you guys missed that, we might get a little bit of snow Wednesday into Thursday. It's a clipper, quick cold front. That gives us about another inch or so potentially. But it's not melting anytime soon. So any wind going down the road until we get back above freezing could cause some blowing and drifting snow. Yeah, back in winter's 77. Yeah, almost 2 weeks where it did not get above 0. I don't think that's quite accurate. How long will we be in these frigid temperatures? Here we go. That kind of answers that. Travel Monday. So Travel Monday is going to be interesting because I don't know how quickly the road crews are going to be able to clean up the side streets. The highways are probably fine on Monday. Most of the main roads should be pretty good on Monday. But the side streets, the residential streets, cul-de-sacs in particular, those are going to take a long time to clear because they're going to be trying to get everything clear on the main roads first. Then they go to those secondary roads, and then they eventually try to get back to those side streets and residential streets, the cul-de-sacs. All right, so Melinda saying, looking at your model Sunday, what do we expect for tomorrow? So in case you just missed it, I'll go back real quick timing for everything. We're getting ready to do some stuff here in the studio, so I got to jump off here shortly. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can coming in. So to recap, tonight is going to be very cold. We have a cold weather advisory till noon tomorrow because our wind chills are going to be down between about 0 and 15 below 0 potentially. We're cloudy at noon still. No snow yet. Snow starts to move in a little bit in the afternoon. Still not much in Columbus at 5 o'clock here on Futurecast. Even a couple just snow showers, light stuff by 10 p.m. tomorrow. So if you need to run errands tomorrow, still good, but it is going to be very cold. Then the snow ramps up Sunday. 8 a.m., we've got steady snow all across central Ohio. It continues midday through the afternoon, and then it wraps up quickly Sunday evening. Again, snowfall totals, 8 to 12 plus for most of us. If you live to the north, 6 to 10 plus, and if you live to the south is where we're going to see a little bit more of this. It does not melt anytime soon because we will be in the teens for high temperatures all of next week, overnight lows near or potentially even below 0. So, as far as the road conditions, if you need to get out, tomorrow's going to be still a good day to do so. Dress warm. If you've got late Saturday plans, the road conditions are going to start to deteriorate as we go through Saturday afternoon and evening, and then heavy snow at times for Sunday morning, Sunday night. It's just going to be just horrible to be out on the roads. So let's see here. Question, if there's anything on the YouTube page. I don't quite see a chat on the YouTube, so I'm trying to watch it here. I don't quite see it, so I just figured I would check to see if there was anything going on with the live. Any comments here? It's trying to pull up the ads. What's something else I can show you guys? If you may have missed this one too, if you're just joining us, a look at how much snow is going to fall hour by hour to give you an idea of when we're going to have some of our heaviest snow. And here you can see live chat, nothing on there right now. We got 150 people watching on YouTube, 362 on Facebook right now. So Facebook is beating YouTube right now. That may change. A lot of people use YouTube. Anyway, the heaviest snow between about 9 a.m. and noon there on Sunday. So that's when it's going to be coming down at about an inch per hour, which is what we consider kind of heavy snow, 1 inch for every hour. But yeah, it's going to be messy. Get those snow shovels ready. Get the snow blower ready. I saw someone saying they're going to use the leaf blower. You're going to have to keep up with it because as the snow starts to pile up, everything that's lower is going to pack more, and it's not going to be as easy to blow off with the snow blower. So Blue Jackets game tomorrow night. Are we good? Yeah, I think that the snow really doesn't start picking up heavy snow until early Sunday morning. How much for Marengo? I'll leave this one last time, and we'll see you guys on Fox 28 and ABC 6 on tonight. Any change to the big snow coming? Not much. 8 to 12 for most of us. 6 to 10 if you live to the north and northwest. So it's going to be quite a bit of snow for us. And that light, fluffy snow. All right, I got to jump off of here. Been on here now for 26 minutes now, so hopefully that answered a lot of your guys' questions. And we got a lot of stuff planned this weekend. So tomorrow we've got other crews coming in. We're doing some extra midday broadcasts tomorrow and little things online. So if you're not subscribed to ABC 6 or Fox 28, do that on Facebook, on YouTube. We're going to be doing some digital broadcasts kind of like this as well to kind of keep you updated as the storm is approaching, as it moves in. But if you do have plans this weekend, the good news is that most of this snow is not kicking in until Sunday. A little bit tomorrow evening. You got a cold day tomorrow, but most of the snow doesn't kick in until tomorrow evening and into your Sunday. That's when the snow is going to be heavy for us Sunday. All right, I'm jumping off. It's been 27 minutes of fun with you guys. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Andrew Buck-Michael. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the ABC 6 Facebook page and YouTube page so you can get all of the digital broadcasts that we have planned this weekend to get you safe ahead of the storm. And if you haven't done so yet, download our free Ohio weather app. All you got to do is search Ohio WX. It's got a 6 and 24-hour futurecast, so you can kind of time this out for your specific location. If you are traveling, it is a very useful tool because we have got some nasty weather for us here in Ohio, and we've got some nasty weather for most of the Midwest. You can see this is starting to move in on Saturday. Ice to the south. I am glad we're not getting ice, but I am not jealous of that one bit at all. And if you are planning on traveling on Sunday, it's going to be messy outside. We're going to have heavy snow across the area, and look at all that ice to the south. All right, got to go. See ya. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. Stay warm, and we'll see you guys on Fox 28 and ABC 6. And we'll see you guys on Fox.